Hi guys, welcome back to Greenlight Gaming. So this video is going to be about a game that hardly anyone talks about. It's a game called Forager, and you might have played it, you might not have, but somehow it's the most played game ever for me. I haven't played a game as much as I've played this one. I mean, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours I've put into this little game. I still think about it now, and I think pretty soon I will be going back to it again. So I found the game kind of accidentally, I guess. Basically, me and my best friend, we had moved into this little terraced house, and one day I was just sort of, when you're laying in bed scrolling through the Game Pass, you're like, nah, not this one. None of the games just seem to do it for you. I was scrolling through the pages. I probably downloaded about 15 games and tried about 5 minutes of each and just deleted it. But then I looked at Forager and the screenshots didn't quite do it for me, but I was like, you know what, I'll give it a chance because I've seen this a couple of times now. I'll give it a chance. And to be honest with you, within 10 minutes of playing, I was in my mate's bedroom saying, mate, you need to download this game. Like, I can't explain it. Just download it and let me know what you think. And then he did, and 10 minutes later, 10 minutes into it, he was shouting through the walls, bro, I'm so glad you recommended this game. I love this game. You ain't going to see me for a few hours. And that's how it started. Like, it just clicked with us straight away. I don't know how, I just did. But I think what I like about Forager is you start small, like literally on one little island. You got a few trees to chop, a few rocks to mine. There's nothing too crazy at the moment. But every few minutes, quite regularly, you level up, and you feel it instantly. You unlock a new skill, you unlock a new building that you can build. Things just start to happen. You get that sense of progression, I guess, pretty much straight away and constantly. And I think that's what keeps you engaged. Like a lot of games out there, it takes a while to progress to see things change. But this one, I think the magic about this one is that it hooks you minute by minute. It really does grab your attention and keep it. And then you sort of figure out your own little methods, how to quickly make gold. And then with the gold, you unlock what they call biomes, which is basically other islands. And each new biome gives you more space to play with, to build your base on, new resources, new enemies and puzzles and dungeons, and completely different vibes. Like you got sort of woodland, icy, lava area with these sort of demonic enemies. And every time you expand, there's just something sort of new and fresh, which keeps it weirdly exciting. It's the mystery of not knowing what you're spending your money on, because the biome is sort of shaded out. When you spend your gold, it unlocks. But the best part is the chaos, I think, because it does get mad eventually. Like, you've got all these machines churning out refined resources. You got all these new enemies, these different shrines with different perks, things popping up all over the screen, like proper overstimulation. But it's not overwhelming at all. Like, I do get overwhelmed quite easily when there's a lot to keep up with, but because you built it from the ground up, you know everything that's going on. So it's your own little chaotic world that you're completely in control of, and that's what makes it feel like kind of peaceful in a weird way. Chaotic but peaceful. The vibe is just spot on, to be honest. Like, you can play the game if you're stressed, if you're tired, or even if it's a nice day outside, you just want to chill and play Xbox or whatever you're playing it on. Like, it just, it's always the right time to play Forager, in my opinion. It actually became a part of my daily routine at one point. I'd always just, even though I'm working full time, I'm always making sure I fit 3 or 4 hours in every day, playing it. And then it even took up like some of my entire weekends, which is quite bad, but no regrets. And the beauty of this game is that it just takes away all of your real life stresses. It shoves them all to one side. You're just there focusing on your little character, getting new costumes, leveling up your equipment. Like, nothing else matters. And I think that's what I love the game so much. Me and my mate, we really, really got into this game. Like, it had the same effect on him that it did on me. It was brilliant. We'd compare how we laid out our bases, what order we unlocked things in. Like, he'd show me his new sword, I'd show him my new pickaxe. We'd share little tricks that we'd figured out, because there were some puzzles that, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I did get a bit confused, so it was good having that person to sort of collaborate with, I guess. But yeah, that probably became one of my favourite things about the game, just sharing my progress. But even if I weren't playing it with my mate, I could see myself just isolating myself and getting lost in that little world for hours on end. There's just something about it, I think what I love is that it gave me this weird sense of nostalgia, not because it's retro or whatever, because it isn't. It's a modern-ish game, but it reminded me of what gaming used to feel like. Do you know when you were a kid, you got no responsibilities, you get fully immersed in a game, but proper escapism, it's you in that little digital world, no background thoughts, you can't hear what's going on in the house downstairs, your mum's moaning about something, you can't hear that, you're just there in that game, lost in that game. And I got that feeling from Forager, and I haven't had that feeling from probably any game since my childhood, since 15 or more years ago. So I completed the first time I completed the game. I literally started back up again straight away. I don't mean later on in that day. I mean instantly. I told my mate, I've done everything I can do on this game. I'm starting again. It was oh my god, no way. And then he got to the same point and he started again. And then I took a break after the second playthrough, probably only a few weeks, to be fair, before I started getting that itch to play it again. So after a few weeks, started my third run, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to 100% at this time, get all the achievements, do everything I can, unlock all the little secrets, 100% it, and then be done with it, because it has taken up too much of my life. But here I am right now thinking about playing it again. I even checked on Game Pass the other day to see if it was still there, which it isn't, but to be honest with you, I'm going to buy it again soon, because I do miss it, and I need to play it again. It's just that good. But on a different note of this game, I don't know if any of you have played the game or followed the drama surrounding it, but things did get a bit messy. The game was created by Mariano Cavallero, who's known as Hop Frog. And after Forager blew up, he started working on a multiplayer update, which sounded like a dream come true. A bit of co-op, that'd be incredible. So he hired a team to help with the development, but things didn't exactly go smoothly. The multiplayer beta was released, but it was really, really buggy and unstable. And eventually, Hop Frog announced that the multiplayer update was cancelled. Fair enough, but initially he blamed the team for the issues. He said that the quality of the game had dropped because of their work, which understandably didn't sit well with the team. So the main artist, Gazaita, who had been with the project from the very start, spoke out about being offered to continue working post-release for under minimum wage, which is shocking. And another developer, Vadim, I think that's how you pronounce it, mentioned that he was removed from the team after asking for a contract. So, crazy stuff. The situation obviously escalated, accusations of poor management and mistreatment, and then Hop Frog eventually posted an apology on Patreon, taking full responsibility for the failure of the update, for the way that things were handled, and he offered refunds to people that bought the game, with multiplayer specifically in mind. But by then the damage is done, and many people in the community felt left down, and in my opinion, that's hard to come back from. The game's reputation took a massive hit, which is a shame because it had so much potential. Don't get me wrong, I love it exactly how it is now, but there was so much potential for this game to grow into something huge. But that controversies overshadowed the game's success, in my opinion. And now the updates have just stopped coming. It's dead in the water now, unfortunately. But despite all that, I love it. I love the game. I know, it's just a game, but I do really love it, and I'm fussy. Games don't have this effect on me, but Forager does. It really, really does. The experience that this game gave me remains very special to me, and it's hard to explain why. Maybe it's how simple it is, the simplicity, the charm, the way it made me feel like a kid again is definitely a big point. But it's just one of those games you can lose yourself in, forget about the world, and I think that's what gaming's all about. It is escapism. I've played countless games, So many games, but very few have stuck with me like Forager has. It definitely isn't perfect. It definitely has its flaws, but it resonated with me in a way that's, to be honest, it's just hard to put into words, which is not good for a review, if that's what you can call this. But yeah, if someone asked me why should I play Forager, all I could say in response is you're just gonna have to trust me on this one.